everybody? Welcome back to the I Am Unchained podcast. Appreciate you tuning in. This is episode 5. Today I have a special guest. His name is AJ. I've known him for quite a while. Both of us did some time together. I knew him before that, going into school. And today we talk a little bit about overcoming some trials and tribulations, going through the prison system at a young age, moving past being the person that you've always been. So yeah, man, it's going to be a really good episode. Before we start, I did want to say I have been having some issues with my microphone, so I apologize in advance. The sound quality is not the best, but I'm working on it. I worked a little bit of magic. It sounds a lot better. 2, I am not condoning or glorifying anything that's talked about in this podcast today. Everything is just for informational purposes, 2 friends catching up, talking about the system and going through the issues and changing your life and talking about how who you were before doesn't always have to be who you are now. So I want to make that clear. I don't condone or glorify any of this. I don't think anybody should ever be in that position. I hope nobody's ever in that position. So with that being said, let's jump into the episode.
First 2 years when I got out, I still had it in the back of my head, like, don't fuck up, don't go back.
Right.
But I was still doing dumb shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
You just feel like you can't get caught.
yeah.
Which is good, because you definitely can.
Yeah, it was just one of those things where I was like, it took a minute for it to hit me.
Yeah.
You know, and I think
Before you were like, alright.
I think when my son was born, it like solidified it.
Right.
You know? So
Change that for other people.
that's when like everything just kind of came to a head, and I was like, oh, like this is it. This is real life. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, it's you just gotta stay focused, man. That's the hardest part.
It is the hardest.
But once you get there and you start to understand it and you realize it and you can fucking like laser focus on what you're supposed to be doing and what you want to do,
And it's simple.
that's it.
Yeah. You just gotta get to that point where like you get all your things you're doing in your day and you're just repeating those things every day.
Mm-hmm.
You got it all here, dude. Like there's no reason for you to deviate anywhere. Like
No.
you're set.
Yeah,
That's so dope.
yeah, it's crazy because even to this day, bro, I don't know if you feel the same way, but I feel like since I got arrested, I know how easy it is to get to there. It is not hard.
I tell people all the time that have just met me,
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, if I didn't go to prison, I would be in a way worse position right now.
Yeah.
Because I thought there was no consequences. I was doing the stupidest shit every day, thinking I could never get in trouble.
Yeah.
And I punched some dude one time and go to prison for 15 months, and I'm like, whoa, like what? I thought if I gotta have money, they can get me out of anything.
Yeah.
No.
It doesn't work that way.
It doesn't. And when I first went in to go see the Lord, they were trying to give me 46 to 60 months. When I thought I was going to do like 6 weeks, bro.
Yeah.
When they told me that, I was just like, that's when the wall started shrinking, it started getting dark. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, they tried to, when I first got arrested, I was in county for a little bit.
Yeah.
I bailed out, started going to court. They said 148 months. They were like 120 months for the
years.
assault one, plus 48 months for the enhancement. And I was like, yeah, what? For one, I've never been in trouble before. Like for the first time, you guys are gonna fucking my life is over.
Life away, yeah.
Bro, it still gets me fucking worked up and shit, but it's just like,
Yeah, I love you got the goosebumps right now thinking about the experience, dude. It's crazy. It really is, dude. What a fucking time.
so we could dive in, like, so you reached out, you wanted to talk about it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, obviously changing.
Oh, changing for the better. I'm happy I went.
Yeah. That's what I tell people. I told my son. So I just filled my son in on some shit like less than a year ago.
Yeah.
And I told people this before. It's like I wouldn't take it back. Like shitty as that sounds, like I wish the pain that I hurt, you know, the pain that I caused people with family and shit like that. I would take all that back. Right? I don't want to hurt anybody.
Yeah.
But if I could take that back and still experience everything that I experienced and learn from it, I would never give that away.
Right.
Ever. Right.
It's too valuable.
Yeah.
When you're young and in that mindset, dude, it's it's weird to think back because I haven't been like that since.
Yeah.
As soon as you get booked like that and there's time to do and it's like big boy time, dude, it changes. When I was in there, I thought it wasn't going to change. As soon as I got out, and I remember being in there and like looking at grass, I'm like, man, it's hella green. And I'm gonna look at grass more when I get out. Like once I got out and saw how free it was compared, it's like, bro, I'm never going back.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah, it definitely changed you. Were you did you do all your time at camp?
Yeah, Monroe. Shelton for like
and then you went to
4
the
months
camp in Monroe?
before, like 11 months.
Okay. Yeah, so I was there for probably a year. I was in camp for a year. Before that, I was behind the wall at Monroe. And they have a 30-foot wall in the yard. You can't see shit but the tips of trees and the sky. And I remember to this day, bro, every now and then I'd see a hot air. I would do the same thing. I just sit there and fucking stare at it. And to this day, I'm like, I still need to get on hot air and like actually experience that.
Right.
But yeah, same thing. Let's be honest, sitting out there sitting, like, I'm really taking everything for granted.
Yeah.
You know, you don't, like you said, man, you don't realize that until you're there. You just think you're top of the world, you're invisible.
Yeah, man. I wish that people could go through that experience without going through that experience.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people would switch how they are today and be a new person tomorrow if they could experience what I felt in that 15 months in 1 hour. They'd be like, oh, I'm a new person now, but let's go figure out life.
Yeah.
But people are just like, it's just hard to get out of it.
Yes,
It really is.
You know what's like that? Have you ever done mushrooms before?
I have, a few times.
Have you done like a deep dose?
I did some like
Have you go like party or something or no?
I've had some like fun experiences and I've had bad experiences.
Really?
And I did one a few months ago, bro. Where I was supposed to go to the game, the Seattle game, my homie, bro. I don't know what happened. Bro. I just took it was a mushroom chocolate. I just took like 2 pieces, bro. I normally have like 4 or 5, and those 2 pieces sent me, dude. I had the same loop of brain thought in my mind for like 6 hours. I couldn't get out of the loop, and I was like, bro, I don't like it. It was terrible.
My wife had the same thing. She didn't talk for like 6 hours, bro.
Yeah.
She just kept thinking she was doing the same thing, and life was just going on without it.
Right.
But I've had some experiences where it's like you get that self-actualization, like come down and like see everything as a whole.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I feel like that kind of, you gotta have it in your head, like we went to prison, so you know what it's like, you know that feeling you're there.
Yeah.
But if you could somehow like tap into that and then go into that deep mushroom fucking experience and just like get that in that 5 or 6 hours, bro, and then your whole life is different. I feel like that's what people need.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. You do gotta be in a good headspace to do shrooms. Otherwise, it'll be a bad tip. But you can get a lot from that.
Yeah.
You just gotta have the mind for it.
You
gotta be able to tune in and be like, all right, man, this is where I'm at.
Yeah, you gotta go into it with like intention.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Got to.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, your mind will just take you wherever. Bro.
Yeah, bro, it's not good. I don't know, but the last time or the time before, I had an issue with the dark when I was tripping.
Oh, yeah.
And I was scared of the dark for like 2 weeks, bro.
Really?
Like, I couldn't fucking, my bedroom door was open and the hallway was dark. And I was like, you gotta close.
Yeah. The night light going.
Yeah, fucking.
Yeah.
Nuts.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So, here's what I think. I think that it's important, like, I want to talk about how, like, it changed your mindset, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I also want to, like, dip your toe into the past.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm a firm believer that everything that somebody goes through shapes who you are. Everything you see, taste, smell, fucking everything you put your hands in, that makes you who you are right now, here today, right?
For sure.
Do you think that, you don't have to give me like all the details and shit like that, but do you think that your childhood shaped you from prison?
Yeah.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
So like, can you give me a little backstory? You don't have to get super deep.
Yeah.
But like, give me a little backstory on like cliff notes on like from AJ as a kid, what you think basically led up to that.
My mom, bro, alcoholic, hardcore.
Yeah.
That's all I know she did, but she probably dabbled in other things, but mainly alcoholic. So I basically raised myself as a kid. My mom had 2 other kids, both girls. I basically raised them, and one of them got taken away by her dad. We all had separate dads. And I just had one sister that I basically raised. My mom was out fucking around.
Yeah.
Like, I looked at shit a lot different. my grandma was just in and out of my life at that point. I wasn't raised by her until I was 13. So up until 13, I had moved like 17 times in my life, like more than once a year. Raising my little sister, like fending for myself, not having food in the house, having to go to the corner store, the one by the house where we lived in the neighborhood.
Oh yeah.
I had to go to the corner store over there, and I would steal licorice every morning on the bus stop.
We're down for a mile. Just Park.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would go steal licorice from there every day on the way to the bus stop, just because I needed something to eat. Like probably for months, bro, all I ate was licorice and waffles. My mom was dating the dude that invented the waffle maker. He was like 62.
No shit.
And then we just had all the waffle mix and waffle makers at the house. I was living off the waffles and licorice, bro. As like a 9-year-old kid.
That's
It's
crazy.
wild. So like obviously all that built up compared to when I lived a normal life when I was 13 with my grandma. It was like I was reborn. Like, oh, I got food. You're making dinner every night. Like I feel like I'm in a normal life now. Like for the previous 12 years, it was a shit show. I'm just trying to survive.
Yeah.
I didn't get a lot of like guiding, no lessons to be learned. It was just like, I'm just here.
Yeah.
Didn't go to school if I didn't want to. I was just like, whatever. I just had no one overlooking me at all. And I think that had a lot to do with me thinking there's no consequences because there wasn't when I was a kid.
Right.
I got stuck in that habit of thinking I can do whatever I want and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Once it comes to the law, boy, it matters.
Yeah.
They don't play, and it happens real quick. So once I moved with my grandma, I saw like how life was supposed to be, but I'm still so stuck in my old ways where it's like, dude, it's hard to change. And I had everything I could get from my grandma. She was the best thing in my life at the time.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't separate from the way I was. But as soon as I hit them prison gates, I remember standing there in the cell, and as the gates closed to Shelton, I was like, boy, this is what I seen on TV. I am here. Like, this is it. This shit was crazy. And that's immediately when I started feeling change.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's nuts just to think about. Like, I feel like it was yesterday. I could draw. If I could draw, bro, I would draw a book of like the cell I was in. Like, bro, like just crazy. It's stuck in my brain.
Yeah, it's weird. Like I think about that sometimes too. Because what's weird to me is like, it's weird that there's some people in the world that will never see the inside of a prison.
Yeah.
Like we've all gone to like sports games. We've all been inside a grocery store. We've all fucking driven a car. Like we all share these experiences.
Yeah.
Some people will never share that experience
No.
ever. And sometimes the same way. I wish I could fucking like. Sometimes I wish I could just take my wife and put her in there just for her to like see it.
Yeah.
And be like,
And then just pull her out.
yeah,
All right, you see now?
Yeah, you get it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's a different world, bro. One of the shows that me and my girl, we watch 60 Days In. You ever seen it?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. We be watching that religiously because I be like, oh yeah, look, they be selling soups 25 cents for soups. We be getting like, just trying to, and I'm filling her in on stuff I've told her, but what we're seeing on the show, and I'm like, it's really like this. Like, this isn't for fun. That's how it is.
It's real.
It's crazy, but that's about as close as the show gets to that life as what she sees on the TV.
Yes.
And it's a lot different when you're right in the middle of it and you're like, I'm offended for myself.
Yeah,
I gotta defend myself. Like, it was crazy. Luckily, I only had to go to a camp where it wasn't too serious.
Right.
But we still saw some crazy shit. I think after you left, dude got hit in the head with a brick that was on the ground, like a tile that you step on.
Really?
Picked it up as he was walking and cracked him in the head. And he just fell flat on his face. Had to bring a helicopter in and carry his ass out. Basically attempted murder. I was like, bruh. I was like, this shit's crazy, dude. Once I saw that, I was like, oh no. But luckily, you know, I knew No and he had some game in there. So like, once I knew him, people kind of left me alone. But yeah, bro. Crazy shit, man. It's just crazy to think back and be like, oh, that happened. And I'm here now. It's wild.
Yeah.
I could have made one wrong step and been stabbed or something.
Something.
And it's like, I wouldn't have lived nothing after that. But now I'm here looking back. It's like,
yeah.
jeez.
It does feel like it's not that long ago.
No, it doesn't.
10.
That was 2009 when I went in.
When you went in 2009, then you got out 2010.
2011.
2011. Yeah.
Because remember, I went in and got bailed out, fought through court, and then I finally actually went to prison in 2010 and got out in 2011.
Yeah.
Crazy, dude.
Yeah. So yeah, man, when you, like, my parents were good, right? But I had split childhood, so like I didn't live with my dad. My mom and my dad split up when I was like 2. So, but I always knew him. He was always there. But I had my stepdad, and then my brothers were. They had their dad. My brother, I have a sister too. I have a sister too. And they all had their dad. So we had our stepdad living in the house, raising us and all that. And it was good, but it's like the environment. Like I remember, my son can't listen to this episode.
Yeah.
Like I sat in my first own car at 14 years old.
Yeah.
Right? I had a gun put in my face before I was 13.
Right.
Like.
And it's crazy because your son is 12.
It gives me goosebumps.
Yeah,
bro. I don't
dude,
like
that's
it.
wild.
Like, you got the drugs, like, and I remember all this stuff like before I could drive, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of gives you my timeline. And you go through all the shit, like the violence and stealing, and like everything, like the drinking. You know what I mean? Like, I started smoking cigarettes when I was fucking elementary school. I was smoking weed when I was 9 years old.
That's wild.
Like, it's fucking crazy. So it's like, yeah. Household was good, right? And you had food on the table, everything like that, but it's the environment around it.
Right.
And you get sucked into that.
Yeah.
And I think when you do that, you just get shaped to who you are. And then a lot of people are like, oh, that's just who I am.
Right.
Like I'll always be
change.
like, you can't change it.
Yeah.
And I think now that's the biggest load of shit I've ever heard in my life.
Right.
So I think like for me at least, you really have to have that moment where you're like, it just kicks you in the fucking mouth.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Wake up.
you can be this person if you want to.
It ain't gonna
but
be easy.
you know exactly where the fuck you're gonna be.
Yeah.
Right? And then we were talking, I think, before we started recording about like derailing. You gotta stay on the path.
Yeah.
Like to this day, bro. To this day, I still check myself.
Yeah.
Right. And for me, a lot of it is like it's anger. And it's deep rooted, and I'm dealing with a lot of that shit.
Right.
I don't drink anymore. I'm almost 6 months sober from drinking.
Yeah.
It's fucking great. It's not like I had like a super like problem,
Right.
but it fed that. It fed that fucking darkness and that demon. You know what I mean?
And it takes a lot to realize that that's what's feeding it.
Yeah.
It's not like just like, oh, I'm drinking, like get mad. Like you knew deep down that when you did that, something else came out.
Exactly.
You got to keep that suppressed.
I can feel it, and it's the same with music, bro. Like I switched up a lot of the shit that I listen to. Like I still listen to rap music, right?
Yeah.
But I was listening to like Brother Lynch, X-Rated, kind of like deep, like eat your guts type shit. You know, like stupid, dumb, crazy shit.
Yeah.
And my wife could tell too. Like I go to the gym and I just have music on. She could tell I was a good person.
Right.
I would literally go take a shower and put on like jazz music to fucking come down.
Yeah.
Like all that shit feeds who you are, and I think it's important to know like your environment is huge. You know what I mean?
Big time.
So I think like you growing up and just not having that. I think it's that guidance.
No guidance. Yeah. Until I hit 13.
Yeah.
And by 13, my guidance was me, and I was stuck in it.
Yeah.
My grandma did everything in the world, bro. Everything. And they couldn't pull me away from that guidance. But as soon as I hit that jail cell and as soon as I got relief,
that's when it changed.
Immediately. I'm like, nope, never doing that again. Haven't been in trouble since, bro. Not one thing.
Good for
I
you.
said, fuck that, dude. And it feels good. It does feel good. Deep down, I'm like, shit, I was doing some serious shit.
Yeah.
And now I didn't get in trouble with nothing. I'm like, I did some stupid shit still after the fact.
Yeah.
Luckily, I didn't get in trouble from it, or it would have been all bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, bro, no trouble. Just super lucky.
Yeah. Did you have a moment like when you first went in, or anything you said like right when the doors closed? But like when you first went in, was there a point in time where you were like you really sat and thought like, how the fuck did I get here?
No.
You didn't?
I knew how I got there.
Okay.
I felt like I needed that time. Like before, because I got bailed out and I fought it in court and I had a day I had to go in. And like the week before, I'm ready to go in. I'm ready to go in there, work out, get big, get it over with, and then go start my life. So I was kind of pumped just to start the process and get it over with.
Yeah.
And as soon as I was in there, I was like, all right, this is what I asked for. And then the first night when I was at the RJC in camp before they transferred me, just broke down crying. I'm like, I'm stuck here. There's nothing my grandma can do to get me out.
Yeah.
I have to do 15 months no matter what I think.
Yeah.
And that's when like the realization set in. I just sat there and balled it out one time and fell by myself, and I was like, all right, man, get that out of your system.
Yeah.
Ain't no more doing that now.
Yeah, I think it's that day when it just becomes real.
Yeah.
Right? It's like
Yeah.
you can hype yourself up all you want.
Right. That
You're
don't last so
long.
long.
Yeah, it fucking hits hard. Yeah, I kind of had that same feeling, man. For me, it didn't hit me until I pulled up to WSR. So WSR was the reform zone.
Yeah.
So I was right out of lockdown. I was in county, out on bail, back in the county. Went to Shelton. The fucked up part is I saw like 3 people that I went to school with.
Mm-hmm.
Shelton. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, all right, cool, yeah. So I had people there. I wasn't by myself,
Right.
Which was probably the worst thing.
Yeah.
And then I found out you get your little paper bag and go in here.
Yeah.
And we took the bus, right? I pull up WSR. And actually, you're not, bro. It's like a movie. I pull up and it's this brick building.
Yeah.
And you could hear the people inside fucking screaming and yelling, and it's loud. And I'm like, you guys want me to get off this fucking bus right here, right now?
Right.
You gotta get off. You get off, and you're just walking up, and this gets louder and louder and louder, and I'm like, I can't fuck. I'm shaking going in there.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot fucking believe I'm here. What the fuck did I do?
Right.
And I remember at that moment, I was like, I fucked it up this time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I tell myself all the time, man, if I didn't, like you said earlier, if I didn't, there's no fucking way I would be here.
No.
There's no way.
No.
A
A lot of people need something to push them
Yeah.
to that straight road.
Yeah.
And it was that for me.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for that, bro, I would have never changed. I know I wouldn't have changed. I would have been like, no one can stop me. I'm going to do what I want.
Yeah.
Prison immediately stopped me. That was it.
I think at that point though, like, if you're living that life and you're going down that road, eventually you're gonna get to that point. I don't think there's any other than death.
Right.
I don't think there's any other route. Like,
Yeah.
You're gonna get caught.
Either get prison or not. Yeah,
Exactly.
2 options.
And that's kind of what I tell people is like, it would have ended up way worse for me,
Yep.
or it would have ended up way worse for somebody else.
Yep.
And thank God it didn't for either.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that wasn't like, that wasn't the first time I put myself in that exact same situation.
Mm-hmm.
The first time, I think that's why I got caught the second time.
Yeah.
I fucked up so bad.
Right.
It's like, oh, now you get it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's inevitable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It really is. No matter what you think in your head,
Yeah.
the day will come.
Oh, for sure. But you don't know that until it's like,
Yeah, until you're in the
here's
middle
life,
of it.
bro.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, shit. You
Yeah.
see the lights behind you. Fuck, what am I doing now?
Yeah, it's not good, man. So how do you think, like, between now, like, I think you and I are, like, on the same page, like, with the mental energy.
Oh yeah.
I feel like in conversations we've had.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
You just can't feed into any of that old lifestyle. Like,
Right.
obviously, I'm separated from that now, a large amount.
Yeah.
But there's still things like I'll hang out with some homies that I haven't known for too long. And they'll start doing stupid shit. And if this was 15 years ago, I'd be right next to it. But now I'm like, all right, bro, I gotta get back to the house, man. I'm out. And I'll just leave like 9 p.m. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I know where this is going. I've seen this before.
Yes.
I'm exiting the room.
Yeah.
I'm getting out of here.
That's smart.
Yeah, I've seen that too many times, and I'm like, y'all are gonna get in trouble. I'm the one with the felony, so I'm the one that's gonna get the most time because of your remarks. So I'm like, I just can't. I can't do it. I can't get involved in that. It's not worth it.
So it's just like a knowing, like, you just know how shit's gonna end up, right?
I can see the future pretty much when that time comes.
Pretty much. Yeah. So like, I'm kind of the same way, and that's why I was talking about how like I catch myself sometimes too. Like, I don't fuck with a lot of people.
Yeah,
Like, I don't have a whole lot of friends. Like, this is it.
you guys are family, bro. That's all you need.
But that's part of the reason. It's because like I naturally gravitate towards. I don't want to say negative people, but there's a certain type of people that I gravitate towards.
Yeah.
And that I feel comfortable with.
Right.
But a lot of them haven't had that slap in the face and haven't gotten to the other side of it.
Yeah.
So they're still on the spectrum of doing like dumb shit, right?
Mhm.
And I don't know why. I don't know what it is. So I naturally have to keep myself away from that.
Right.
Because I know, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I naturally have to watch what music I listen to, or quit drinking or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's just like that. It's just that knowing now, you can feel it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I'm a big energy guy.
Yeah.
Like you can feel negative energy.
Oh, big time.
You can feel positive energy.
Yeah.
And that's why I stick to the house.
Yeah.
It's like I
You're
control
thankful.
everything here.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It feels good.
Yeah, and it's all positive.
Yeah.
So, and I got to that point where, like when I was in jail, when I was locked up in prison, it was that same thing too. Like I had this one dude. He was like, called me protege and shit like that. Finally, I talked to him. And I was like, look, dude, I can't even associate with you. Like, I'm not trying to do all that. Kind of checked me a little bit. But I was like, it is what it is.
Right.
But I was like, I gotta get myself in the position where I just don't fuck with anything that I feel like is gonna lead me down the wrong path.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I've had that. I got that as soon as I went to jail. That was something that stuck with me. That's not something that took long to build up.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh well, look at what the fucking situation I put myself in. Like I did that to me in this situation, and now I'm here. You know what I mean? So I just gotta.
You can't blame nobody but yourself.
No. So I put myself in those situations, and that's something like you said, man. Like you just gotta be aware of, but you just gotta know it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You gotta have that. I think the big part of it too is having that strength to be like, as corny as it sounds, you really gotta stand up for yourself. Be like,
Yeah.
Nah, guys, I'm out.
Yep.
I don't know what time it is, bro. It's still daylight. I'm going home.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'll make up any excuse. Oh, my diabetes, bro. I gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
I'll do anything.
Yeah.
I can't get stuck in it. I'm not gonna tell y'all what to do, but I'll exit myself from the room and not get involved in it. Whether you guys don't get caught or not, I just don't want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
The scare tactic of prison in the back of my head and going through that again. As a 33-year-old, no chance, bro. No chance.
Way different.
The chance, the luck we had going at the time we did, and you don't have really anything going on in your life, no family, no house, no job, like you're just going like a little vacation, you're coming back. As crazy as that sounds, but like imagine going now, like randomly you're in prison for 3 years.
Yeah.
Life, you coming back to nothing after everything you built.
Yeah.
It's way different. So that's why I tell people, I'm glad I went when I went. I didn't have a lot going on.
Yeah.
Let me get that out of my system so now I can start building going forward.
Right.
Because otherwise, bro, like, I don't know what would happen. Like, your house is gone, your car is gone, your job is gone. Like, bro,
Family's gone.
terrible.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario.
Yeah.
And we were in there with a lot of guys that were older in those ages. And it's like, bro, what did you leave behind?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I think about that with my brothers now.
Yeah.
My brothers are, what's 38 this year.
Yeah.
Like, you're 38, you're locked up. Like, I can't talk because I was locked up too.
Right.
I did dumb shit. But you're 38.
Yeah.
You had plenty of time to figure it out, right? And now you're in the middle of your life and you come back to nothing. Right? Now, like, they're gonna get held, like, shit like that. Everything's gonna work out for them.
Mm-hmm.
But you get to that point in your life where it's so much harder.
It's way harder.
It's so much harder.
Yeah.
Not only are you just that far in life and you have to play that much more catch up, it's like everything you had before that is gone.
Right.
Like I got locked up when I was 19. I only had 19 years of shit. That was only a year and a half of adulthood, right? That's
exactly.
nothing,
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, nothing serious built up at that time.
Right.
That you could actually like truly miss.
Yeah.
And forget about.
Mm-hmm.
It's so different, dude. Just thinking like how it could have been if I would have went 3 years ago. It's like, bro, I probably would end up going back. Just because it's so hard once you have your life kind of built and then they take it away and then you start back from level 1 again.
Yeah.
Bro, way too many distractions. It's just tough. And I can see how people get stuck in that loop.
Mm-hmm.
But, dude.
I was talking to my brother Max yesterday. So he's the one that's rehab.
Yeah.
And I forget the number he gave me. He was talking about how many times he went to jail in the last 3 years. He was like, man, I got to the point where it's comfortable.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's just like, it just became a thing that you just did, right?
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, it was just like going out or going to do something. It's like, oh, I'm just in jail again? Cool, I'm going to ride this out. Back out.
Yeah.
I'm like, God, damn,
That's a
bro,
bad
what a
loop.
life.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can see how if you get to that point, then you like if you get to that point where you never build anything, like you're just fucking day in day out, then who gives a fuck? You know what I mean?
Nothing to lose.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except your freedom, which at that point you don't care too much about because it's just a routine.
Yeah, and especially kind of like when I went to Shelton, I started seeing people I knew in there. It's like,
Yeah.
when it's like that, bro, like you.
It's not good. Yeah, you get comfortable.
Yeah, because you're like, oh, I just got people to like chop it up with, like talk about it, you know, whatever. Not like the biggest thing for me in there was like when I sat on my stomach.
Yeah.
Right, and a lot of that came after being at Shelton. Like I don't know if you know, I didn't really fuck with anybody. Like I talked to you, Will, and then a couple other random people.
Yeah.
And even not even you guys that much.
Yeah.
I just kind of did my
Stay to
shit.
yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was mostly because of that. Because I was like, I gotta work.
You gotta get it together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was wild, man. Big fucking come to life for sure.
Well, when's the last time you've seen your brothers in person? It's been a while.
Yeah, so I think I had a little thing probably 3 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't a good interaction. I went up to Everett. He was supposed to be in treatment, whatever. That time that I saw him, there was a big issue in the parking lot or whatever, and then cops came. And the dog's out and everything. Damn, I was like, yeah, bro, that was the last time I saw him. So it's been a long time. And then Mike, I haven't seen Mike in fucking years on years. Me and Mike didn't really have a good relationship before that, because he's kind of doing dumb shit. And then we're brothers, we just fucking butt heads. But at some point with me and Mike, it just got to the point where it was like, we're no longer just bickering. Like, I'm an adult, you're an adult, we're having a real fucking problem here. You know what I mean? And it just got to that point where we didn't talk. Which, bro, I tell these guys all the time, dude, you need that slap in the face. And I hate saying it because I don't want to see that for anybody.
Right.
But I'll talk to my wife before and be like, no, they need it. You know, I hate to see it happen, but I hope both of them go to jail.
Right.
Because you don't fucking, you just go in and out of it and you just a little slap on the wrist, you're just like Max said, I was getting comfortable.
Yeah.
Now go to prison and let this shit sink in for a year, 2 years, get sober, do your thing, right? And thank God, Mike we'll see when he gets out in history, stuff like that, but it's a lot easier to stay sober now.
Yeah.
You get shit in there? Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah. But it's not as easy as the street.
It's not. So if you have any glimmer of self-motivation, you can fucking hold on to that and keep it going. You really gotta look for it when you're in there. So, yeah, man, it's been a long time. I'm looking forward to seeing him, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
and
I should be a big inspiration to both of them.
They kind of say that.
Yeah,
and
get their shit straight.
Yeah, before Mike went to prison, I remember him talking to me like, "Man, how do you do it this next?" He went to jail all the time.
Yeah.
I was like, you don't really have a choice, man. You just kind of have to adapt, you know? And I think that's the biggest part is when you adapt, you can adapt one of two ways. Like, you can adapt and do your shit and go home, or you can adapt with all the other negative shit around you just like you're out here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that just, it takes so much fucking determination. It takes so much fucking hard work.
It does.
To not follow the path of like,
You've been on repeatedly.
Yeah.
To take that step away from that path and start a new path, it's difficult as fuck.
It is. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. There's times, like, I love my family to death. Right? Yeah. I would fucking sell my soul for them, right? But is there times that I miss just fucking hanging out on apartment stairs, smoking weed? Like, it's fucking weird, bro. I have those moments where I'm like, nah, that's what I want to go do.
On the apartment step.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I'm just like trying to paint a picture, like that's what it was. Yeah, and that's just kind of what we did. You know what I mean? And you know, you go run off, do some shit, come back, and everybody like. I remember we used to live in summer walk apartments in Kent. Yeah. Like when I say live there, I mean like 15 of us stay there, in and out all the time. Like there's fucking go rob somebody, come back here. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like that type of shit. Do I still miss that a little bit? Yeah. Yeah. It's something that's like ingrained in me. Right. But that's where you gotta be like,
That's the path of least resistance.
You gotta draw the line.
Easily do that.
Yeah.
But what's more important?
Yeah.
Well, what's more important now is me living my life with happiness and a peace of mind.
Right.
And now I got little people to fucking take care of.
Yeah.
And wife. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, I actually want to build something because I actually haven't gone back that way. But I know that this is so much more fulfilling.
Oh, big
You know? Because it's just easy to do all that.
And fulfilling to people around you too.
Yeah.
Like me seeing you like this, bro. This makes me happy, dude. Real shit.
That's
Like
good.
you're at the end goal right now.
Yeah.
You've got it all, bro. Like that's crazy.
Appreciate it.
If you think when you were sitting on the bunk when we were in that cell, you think you was gonna have this 10
Yeah.
years down the line, bro, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's nice, man.
That takes a whole lot of determination and a straight walking a path to get to this point, dude. You're here.
Yeah.
Pat yourself on the back, man. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's big shit.
Yeah. I try to remind myself of that sometimes too.
Yeah.
I get down on myself a lot. Like,
It's easy to.
yeah, especially because I played a lot of catch up when I got out.
Yeah.
Because it hits you and you're like, oh, I miss blah blah blah.
All those nights out.
Yeah, which really you don't fucking miss a whole lot. Right?
No.
Like I talk to my brother now and he's like, oh, what you doing this night? I'm like, just living life, bro. You ain't missing shit.
Yeah.
You know? But you think that. And then when I got out, I hit it hard. I'm like, not only do I have to live my life right now, but now I gotta catch up for the last 18 months.
Right.
And I got into that fucking mode where it's still to this day. I get down on myself and I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that. And I think it comes from that,
Yeah.
you know? But then, like you said, I sit back and I'm like,
Yeah,
I can
you're
slow
good.
down and rest. My wife tells me all the time, man, fucking chill out. Like, take a nap or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know if that's the type of person I am, but I think a lot of it stemmed from that. And it's just like you said, man, just fucking, you gotta realize, like, it's here. It's cool.
Yeah. You
Life
got it.
is life, bro.
Yeah.
You're doing good too, though.
I mean, yeah, life's cool.
Yeah.
This house part is the hardest part about life.
It is.
It's
Yeah.
just, out here in Washington, bro, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's tough.
Lives
man.
are nuts everywhere.
Yeah, we got this one at a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, right before shit went crazy.
Right.
And then we started, so we were gonna move to Tennessee.
Oh, really?
Yeah. One of the reasons, it's crazy, man. So one of the reasons we were gonna move to Tennessee is I just want to start over.
Yeah. I mean, that's
So,
fair.
Yeah. So like, we'll go back to the house thing, but remember when you reached out and you were like, we want to talk about that dark time, and I was like, oh, which one? Like,
Yeah.
where's the one? And like just recently, bro.
Right.
It got to the point where, do you ever feel like being in the same area? Where'd you grow up? You grew up in Kent. Kent?
Yeah.
So I grew up in Kent too, but I've been in Tacoma or Pierce County since I was like 18.
Mm-hmm.
So like right before I went to jail.
Right.
There's like baggage. There's
You
like, huh?
Baggage from living your life in Kent?
Just everywhere. You know, 'cause
Yeah.
like even when I lived in Kent, I used to come home to party all the
Mhm.
time. It's like I see places I'm like, oh, I hold space in my head for a lot of shit that I don't want to hold space in my head for. You
Yeah.
know? Even like going out and seeing people. Like some people, it's like I don't even want to fucking see you because you remind me of the past.
Yeah.
You know, and that was a big part of me wanting to move, bro. It's like I got to that point where I was like, everything that I did and everything that made me the person I am today, I hated who I was.
Yeah.
You know, and this was not that long ago. Like, even with, like you said, like here, like a house and family and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
it's still so fucking deep rooted to where like
It's hard just to let it go.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we wanted to move, and I was like, I just want to be. You get to the point where like, when you're around somebody for so long, they have a perception of you, right?
Yeah.
And then for me at least, and I think for a lot of other people, it's when you're around that person, you try to uphold that perception, right? It's like your parents, right, or like your grandma or whatever. You're like, oh, that's my baby, that's my angel, right?
Yeah.
So when you're around your parents, what are you? You're that baby, you're that angel. You're
Right.
not that person that's over here in their own
No.
house doing their own life,
Completely
right?
different.
And it got to the point where it's like I'm so sick of being this old Matt, and I felt myself changing.
Yeah.
And I was like, but I can't be that new Matt around all the same shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's where the mushrooms came into play. Like I had
Yeah.
a big realization, and realizing one of the biggest things is like I kept saying to myself over and over, I'm a dope ass person. I'm a dope ass person.
Yeah.
Be who you really, really are instead of who people think that you are.
Yeah.
And from that point on, it's been like 2 years. My whole fucking life has been different.
Yeah.
Like everything's changed, you know, from prison and stuff like that. Like it all built up. But I think even up until that mushroom trip, it never clicked. Like it was all building up, and then all of a sudden somebody opened those floodgates and it all fucking rushed in, and I'm like, I get it now.
Yeah.
Like, just because I'm changing on the outside, I wasn't changing what was on the inside. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I know I need to fix my credit, get a car, get a house, raise family. But in my head, I'm like, I
Yeah.
still want to do what I want to do.
Right. Let me go out on the
I still want to be on those apartment steps.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, we really wanted to move, and luckily it didn't happen. And we're here. A lot of
Yeah.
things changed for the better.
When were you guys thinking of moving? That was a couple years ago?
I think that was last summer.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, last summer.
It's like fresh.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
great.
it was real fresh. And it was, yeah, it just kind of built up. And
What do you think has changed from last year to this year, as far as you like switching your mindset of how you wanted to go and restart, and like where you are now, where you're like you're cool with where you are and you're still making it happen? What do you think that switch was?
it was me and myself.
Yeah.
And quit being the person that, I think I said this earlier, it's like, oh, that's who I've always been.
Yeah.
Right? Like, no, Matt's just angry. Matt's pissed off. Matt will fucking pull you out of your car in the middle of the traffic. That's just who I am.
Yeah.
Right?
And deep down, I feel like I can still get to that person too.
Yeah.
I just don't want to.
Yeah.
Like there'll be times I'm in traffic and I'm like, ooh.
Bro, I would pull up right now. But, and it was, yeah, so it was like, I had a hard time making the switch. Like, everything was there, right? I was doing the right things. I was thinking the right way, but I wasn't living it, right? And I think I wasn't living it because I wasn't, it's like an ego thing.
Right.
It's like, oh, well, everybody around me expects me to be this certain type of person. Because when you're around somebody and you're like the new version of you,
They're like, whoa, who's
like,
this guy?
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Bro, like, who the fuck is this, you know? And I think that was the biggest part of it, in that realization, like, who gives a fuck?
Right.
Why the fuck do I care about what somebody else thinks? But that's the way the world is.
It's so hard to not
It's
think that
so
way.
hard.
Yeah. I catch myself all the time telling myself, oh, don't care. And then 30 seconds later, I'm caring what someone else thinks. And it's
Yeah.
I don't know
It's
how,
hard.
in the world that it is right now, I don't know how you get away from that. It's tough.
I don't think that you can. I think you just have to learn it.
Yeah.
It's like a learned skill. Yeah. Because even to this day, bro, I learn all about that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think that's what it was. I think it was that me telling myself I'm a dope ass person. Like,
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck what you thought of me before. Who I am right now is who I fucking love. Like,
Yeah.
I love myself, bro. Like 100%, right? But before, I really, really got to the point. I think I told my wife a couple times. I was like, I just hate who I am.
Yeah.
Everything I've seen, smelled, touched, experienced, fucking everything. It's like, why do I have to hold that in me?
Right.
And I almost got the chance to release it. You know what I mean? I remember having this mushroom trip where I was sitting there, my wife was playing sound bowls and stuff like that. And
Or what?
Sound bowls? Have you ever heard of sound bowls?
Oh, yeah. I've
Yeah,
seen him on
glass
TikTok.
bowls,
That
bro.
dude that does it in like Antarctica or something. You just spin
It's
it.
amazing.
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah, it was
I
one of
couldn't, that would trip me out on shrooms.
It was one of the
for sure.
best fucking trips I've ever had.
Really?
And I was sitting right there, and I remember closing my eyes, and I saw this eyeball. And it was buried under like rubbish, like almost if you see like a building collapses, like you can see like the bricks and the studs and shit like that.
Right.
There's this eyeball peeping out, and I opened my eyes and I freaked out for a second. When I sat there, I was like, "That's me. Like that's it."
Underneath all this stuff.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it looked malicious, like it was like wanted to get me, right? But when I sat there and I was thinking about it, I was like, oh, that's me. I was like, it's not mean, it's not angry, like it wants to help,
Yeah.
right? And that's when I told myself, I was like, it's okay to not be okay.
Yeah, and even yourself, looking at yourself,
Yeah.
you're thinking, oh, like, that's malicious, and it's like, it's not.
Yeah.
He actually wants help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember my wife was sitting over here and she was kind of talking to me with that. I was like, he just wants a hug. I kept calling him my little guy. I was like, he just wants a hug. Like, he just wants to be okay.
Yeah.
You know? And after that, I was like, it's okay to not be okay. Like, I don't have to beat myself up, but I got to start making the changes.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I got to start actually living the life that I've been trying to live, because you can do all the things superficially, but if it doesn't hit like deep,
Yeah,
it
it's
doesn't
not the
do,
same.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything. So I think that was the time, man, where I was just like, you know what, I really got to make a change in myself. Quit working so hard for the outside things, and quit trying to play the catch up.
Yeah.
Because you're fucking killing yourself, you know. And I even got to the point where I was like, it was all over.
Yeah.
Like, I was ready just to let it all go.
Right.
Even with all this, you know,
That's
I got to the
crazy.
point where I was like, yeah, this is not enough.
Yeah.
Because of myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't think prison wasn't the end all be all. That wasn't like the major switch.
Yeah.
I think it was a pivotal moment in like correcting the journey. And then my son was another one.
Oh
And
yeah.
then my daughter was another one. But it's just those major life moments. And then all of a sudden it kind of clicks when you get older.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big part of it. Is like you need to go through the experiences of life in order to really understand, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't think everybody has the opportunity to actually see what those experiences can do. I think some people just take the experience and just be like, just kind of push it off.
Yeah. And don't actually like accept it as its core value.
Exactly.
Because it all means something at the end of everything.
Yeah.
I just think about like when I'm gonna be on my deathbed 50 years from now, I'm gonna be laying there thinking about the previous 80 some years of my life and how I feel about it before I take my last breath. That's really the bare bones, what it comes down to.
Yeah.
You're laying there, it's what your memory, everything you've experienced comes to one piece there. And it's like, if you don't accept that and learn from every experience, you're gonna lay there like, wasted 80 some years and look at me now.
Yeah, that's one big thing. Like, I listen to a lot of podcasts, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I forget what they were talking about, but you hear this saying, like, a lot of people have said it. If you're talking to somebody on their deathbed, you wish you would have changed. I wish I would have not worked so hard. Right?
Yeah.
And that was kind of like my last podcast, and I had a big fucking realization moment too, where I was like, bro, it was ingrained in me. Like, working hard is not a bad thing, right? I'll work hard for what you want.
Right.
That's great. But it was ingrained in me to be the man, like be the man, provide. But doesn't matter about you. Fuck yourself.
Yeah.
You're supposed to do what you're supposed to do, right?
Right.
Like that's the goal. And it just kind of came to the point where I was like, I don't want to be one of those old men on their deathbed being like, I wish I paid attention to my family more. I wouldn't work so hard. Because it's like, yeah, when you get to this point, like, I don't have everything.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Well, who needs everything?
Yeah. I'm comfortable. Things are to the point right now where, like, I could actually just enjoy my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's the important part of life.
Right. So what is the point of getting more?
Right.
Getting more shit, more to fucking, I was talking about my truck, and I was like, I love having my truck. But
Yeah.
now I gotta work harder to pay for my truck.
Yeah.
It's like, why do I want more shit just to work harder to pay for more shit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, that's fair.
Yeah. And people are motivated by money. That's fucking great.
Yeah.
Other people, for me, it's not, man. I think fucking peace, bro, like inner peace for
Yeah.
real, is insane.
Yeah. I'm far from that. Honest, I'm being honest. I'm far from true inner peace.
Yeah.
But that's the goal that keeps me going. Like at some point, I want to be able to sit down on my couch at my home and be like,
Just let it out.
yeah, like
Yeah.
finally, you know.
Yeah.
And it's a grind to get to that point. But once you come home and you're a family, bro, like that's the main goal.
Yeah.
And you're in the middle of it, bro. So
Yeah.
look around you, man. This is it.
Yeah.
You're at the final destination, bro. Like this is the goal.
Yeah.
And you're there before your mid-30s. Like that's crazy.
Yeah. I need more people around me like you.
Yeah.
I need people to be like, yeah, look around you, bro.
Yeah.
You don't hear that. You know, you just gave me your own shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to get stuck in life and the distractions, but at the end of the day, bro, when you're laying down, your kids are asleep, laying down with your wife, bro, you're at the spot that you've always wanted to be at.
Yeah,
man.
exactly.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So, yeah, I got to that point, man, where it's like, things got changed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Look how much has changed.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah. But you're going through that right now. You like
Yeah,
right?
I feel like I'm in the middle of my process to where you are right now.
Yeah. So do you think you're still going through those experiences where you're still trying to make sense of it all, or do you feel like you got that down?
I feel like I'm past that point.
Yeah.
Now it's just like, what's the next step I take in the way to my goal? It's not really like I'm on this path and I'm taking one step this way and one step that way. I might be taking a half step here and here to, you know, see my people and hang out with my people, but at the end of the day, my goal is to get to this point.
Yeah.
Whether it's here or a different state, that's still unsure at this time, but
Yeah.
this is the goal I'm on. I'm on the path to this goal, to have a family, to have a home,
Yeah.
just to be
You want kids?
at peace, no peace. I want kids.
Yeah.
None yet, though.
Yeah.
Just the world scares me, dude. The world is freaking me out. I'm like, we had to wake up and we're somewhere else. Because this can't be the place we were 10 years ago, dude. It's insane.
Yeah. I catch myself driving down the road sometimes and I'm like, where the fuck are we?
Yeah.
Like,
How did we get here?
yeah.
Yeah.
And it happened so quick.
Yeah.
That's the trippy part about it is I feel like we're like in the middle because like we had that before, but we're also in the after.
Yeah.
Whereas like my kids, they're growing up right now in the after.
Yeah.
And that scares the shit out of me.
Yeah.
That's like I said, that's why we're doing the homeschool, man. 'Cause you can only control so much when they're out of the house.
Exactly. Yeah. The world has got, again, back to the distractions. So many distractions, good and bad.
Yeah.
Where it's like, dude, you're sending them to school and they're hanging out with this kid, and next thing you know, they're smoking cigarettes at the steps of someone's apartment. And it's just like, bro, how did that happen so quick? You know, it's crazy. If I ever have kids, 100% homeschool or a Montessori if I got the money for it.
Yeah.
Some place where they're learning about like animals and grass and plants and
Important
life
shit.
things. Yeah.
bro. Like,
Not the fucking.
you know how many times I've used all my history classes since I've been an adult? Absolutely zero.
Yeah.
You know? Like there's no fucking.
There might have been conversations I've had where like I'm trying to pull something from that class. And I'm not pulling it. It's gone.
It's not there, bro.
I remember the class. I don't remember the info I learned in the class.
Exactly. Yeah, that's one of the good things about homeschooling, man, is like you can kind of just do whatever. Like this year, so my daughter's not in school yet, but she's starting to learn, get kind of influenced that stuff.
Right.
But this year, my son and then we got some other homeschool friends, whatever. We're all doing like a homestay class where they're gonna learn how to take care of animals and
Right.
you know grow fucking herbs and vegetables and shit like that.
Yeah.
Because like everybody has their own opinion on the fucking way the world's gonna go now, but if you get to that point where like everything's fucked and you can't fend for yourself,
Yeah.
right?
If we get to the point where it's like a reset and you have to just
Yeah.
make it,
Yeah. What do you can't.
schooling's not going to help
It's
you
not
with
gonna do
that.
anything.
They don't need to teach you how to do your taxes.
Nothing.
It's,
Yeah. And I fucking hate tax. My wife does taxes for us.
yeah.
'Cause
Lucky
that's-
you.
Drives me nuts, dude.
Like,
Yeah.
how do y'all have a number that I owe, and you want me to figure out the money I owe you? Just send me what I owe you so I can fucking
Yeah,
pay
just send me a
you.
bill, bro. That's it. You gotta cover
Crazy.
everything else.
And then if I do it wrong, I get a penalty. It's like, bro, you know the amount. It's written down. Send that
It's
to
like a
me.
game, bro.
Yeah.
It's a game for us.
Yeah, because you know all the loopholes and shit. It's like, bro, I can't even get started with all that.
No, I try to stay out of like politics and conspiracy theories and shit like that. Whether or not you think they're conspiracy, whatever. Like, I stay out of it. The only thing I tell my wife this all the time. The only thing you control is everything in this house.
Yeah.
That's it. What my fucking neighbors doing over there doesn't fucking concern me until he
Yeah.
brings it to my door.
Right.
That's it. You know what I mean?
Yep. And that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, and so you can't control what your kids are learning in school.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't give a fuck how many petitions you get signed up like that. You can, the only way to change that.
Teachers have their own agenda. Schools have their own agenda. It's just scary, dude. My grandma tells me all the time, "Don't have kids. The world is crazy."
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want to miss out on that experience just because the world's crazy.
Yeah.
But bro, like you said, I can control what goes on in this house, and that's where I want to be at. Just like as long as you stay in that zone, no one can fuck with you. You're good.
Yeah. Exactly.
And that's where that inner peace comes.
Yeah.
That's when you fully get to that point.
Yeah.
Bro, I've done it. Like I'm doing it. It's happening.
Yeah.
I'm in the middle of the goal I thought I could never get to 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Once you come to that realization, I'm actually in it.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
Dude.
it is nuts, man. Especially after so much time, you know.
Yeah.
But
All them big decisions you made every day after the day you were released brought you to this point. So you gotta give yourself credit for that.
yeah, that's one thing I think too is like, I got to that point where I didn't fucking like myself, right?
Yeah.
All the shit. But I also have to remember I'm here right now because of all of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So it all can't be bad. You wouldn't have got to where you were now.
Exactly. I recorded a podcast the other day. My fucking mic cut out after 8 minutes.
Oh
no!
no!
Yeah, I was pissed.
How can you tell if they're running? You see it there?
You can see the little voice thing.
Oh yeah. I see.
you
Okay.
can tell.
Yeah.
That's why I'm staring at it. But anyway, man, yeah, you seem like you're doing really good for yourself. I'm proud of you too, man. Like,
Yeah.
I've told you a couple times, like you're doing it too. You know, what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody's got their own shit that they're doing, their own process to do it.
Right.
But I can tell in you, like you're way different too. Like
Oh, yeah.
AJ from a long time ago. Like we didn't really know each other that much before you got locked up. Like
No.
that's the
Yeah.
crazy thing. It's like
I knew when I first seen you, I knew you from somewhere.
Yeah,
Once
it's like
it hit me, I was like, no fucking way.
it's crazy. I saw you walk through. I was at the other end of the tier, and I saw you walk through the door, and I did the same thing. I was like, I know him from somewhere.
Yeah.
It took me the longest time to figure it out, but I think I asked you. I was like, did you live
Yeah.
in the neighborhood?
Yeah, and I was like, oh shit. As soon as you said that, it clicked. I was like, no way. Probably how you felt when you saw your homies at shelter.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, that's crazy. After all of the life that's happened, when we were fucking
In the same spot.
crazy.
Yeah,
And then we
man.
ended up in the same wing, in the same cell. It's wild.
Yeah, that's fucking nuts.
That's where it should be happening for a reason, though, bro.
I think so too.
Yeah.
People come in and out of your life, fucking your whole lifetime.
Yeah.
Right? Some people stay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we didn't know each other for before that, but like the person you were in prison, bro,
Yeah.
I can tell you're way different.
Oh yeah, way different. Like
Yeah.
that was a bad lifestyle.
Yeah.
While I was in the middle of it, I didn't realize, but as soon as I stepped away from that lifestyle and I look back at it, I'm like, bro, what the fuck was I doing? I was an idiot. Like,
Yeah.
wow, I can't believe that was my life. You know?
Yeah.
And once you step away from that, once you realize it, it's hard to get back into it. Like, why the fuck would I go back into it?
Yeah, because you realize all the dumb shit.
Yeah, too much dumb shit. Yeah. And it's like if I would have got caught for every dumb shit I did, bro, I would have been doing 30 years.
Yeah.
It's like, then what?
Yeah. Yeah. I think about that too sometimes. Like, I look at it and I'm like, you know, I could probably fucking write a book or something.
Yeah,
You know, or make a movie about my fucking life.
for sure.
I'm sure there's a lot of people like that, but holy shit, the stuff that I did
Yeah,
and the stuff that I saw,
yeah,
it's unreal. You know? Yeah, it's definitely a different life, man, for sure.
Or do you remember Nick from our neighborhood?
Nick,
I don't know his last name.
you talking about the one my brother punched?
Yes, that's what I'm about to get to with the bus stop.
Yeah, bro.
Bro, rocked his shit.
Yeah.
And I ran back to my house and then he's banging on my window, blood dripping from his nose.
Yeah, dude. I'll never forget.
Have you seen him ever since? Or that was it?
I saw him. Yeah, so I mean, we went to the same school, so I saw him after that.
Right, but like,
But after we
have
got,
you been
like-
an adult?
Nah, I haven't seen him.
Not on Instagram or anything?
He came up, you know, like on Facebook, you get the people you may know, whatever.
Yeah.
He popped up. I think he's got some kids now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he seems to be doing all right.
What was his last name? Oh, damn, really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Like, but I were really good friends.
Yeah.
Like,
I listened to my first rap song in his house in that neighborhood.
Nuh-uh.
Ludacris Roll Out was the first rap song I ever heard, bro. It's
Yeah, he was really into rap. He kept telling me his brother is a DJ or whatever. DJ.
Yeah.
I'm trying to forget what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, he used to tell me that shit. But yeah, Nick was a good dude. I'll never forget, bro, because when that happened, it was so stupid, too. When that happened, we still got on the bus.
Yeah.
Went right past your house. There was fucking place. We were all. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah. Your brothers were like, what, 4 years older? 3 years older?
They're like 3.5 years older.
Yeah, so they were like about to leave. I think it was in middle school at that time.
Yeah.
They were getting ready to leave middle school as we were starting middle school.
Yeah.
So, bro, they rocked Nick shit.
Yeah, bro. I will never forget that. It was the wildest. Because Nick was a big dude, too.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, a bigger guy.
And my brother's not that big.
Yeah.
When I saw him, he just fucking.
You could tell they didn't have no fear in them. That was the difference.
Yeah.
There's no fear.
Yeah, it's weird thinking about like where other people went to. I think about that a lot for some reason. I probably didn't fucking have that in my head, but sometimes somebody will come up like there's this dude, I won't say his last name, it's this dude Jake that I went to. I was never friends with him, but he was just always kind of there. Like you always know people.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, whatever happened to that guy? You just never know.
Right.
I think about other people from prison too.
Yeah, I'll look him up sometimes. Remember Hodge? I don't know if you remember Hodge.
Yeah, the limit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shorter dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to find him online. I know his last name's Hodge. I don't remember his first name. We just called him Hodge. I don't know his name, but I'll be trying to think.
Yeah.
All I really remember is I think is his name, Valdez.
Yeah.
So, like, that's the only person I remember his first and last name.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people from there. I'm like, damn, bro, I wonder what happened. Are you still there? Are you out?
Yeah.
Another thing, bro, I wanted to talk about is, like, before I got released, in my head, I'm like, I remember everyone's name. I remember the times we ate and went to chow. And, bro, a week after I'm like, I don't remember one thing from that place. My mind is like, get that shit out of here, bro.
Yeah, it was the same thing. Because I remember telling myself, like even though I stayed to myself, like there were still some people in there that I was like, oh, let me stay in contact.
Right.
Do you remember Shane? He was an older dude.
White dude?
White dude, like almost like a black mullet kind of. I forget his last name. But he was always there. Like we ended up being in the same spot, like in Shelton, and then when we got to Monroe and whatnot. And he was one person where I was like, man, like he was older, so he like kind of took me under his wing, like in a good way. He was like, don't fuck up. Like, he still talks shit and stuff like that. But he was like, dude, you can't do certain shit, right? Right. So when I got out, I was like, Shane, let me get your info or whatever. He was like, I'm not going to give you my info. I was like, why? He was like, because when you get out, you're not going to write it. And I was like, yeah, really? He was like, no, you won't. And I was like, man, give me your shit, right? He was like, all right, but you better fucking write me. And same thing. I think I did the same thing with
Do you remember? You know what's crazy is I was just at Dion's house when Stefan was over there. You know Stefan?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he was just over there a few weeks ago at Dion's house, and I was asking him about
yeah.
Jay's still doing the same stupid shit.
Nuh-uh.
Like, he got kids and shit now, I guess. But,
yeah.
Yeah, doing the same stupid shit.
But yeah, you do that. I'm like, no, I'm gonna write out you guys. Like that's what I would want, right?
Yeah.
Same thing. When I got out the fucking mind,
Yeah.
I ain't writing no,
I got no time for that.
Yeah,
distractions are around me now.
Yeah, it's weird, man. Like I see some people. Remember that skinny kid dude that always wanted small guy, always wanted to wrestle people.
Critter,
dude.
I
saw him in front of mine not that long ago.
Did you?
Yeah.
You recognize him?
Yeah, he's got a hard face not to remember.
Yeah.
But I saw him, and I mean, he got a bunch of kids with him. You can tell he just wasn't doing very good.
That's
But
crazy.
yeah, I think about people like that a lot, man.
And the fact that we're seeing them and realizing who they were is wild.
Yeah.
Just to know them for that short period of time, and after everything that life has given you since then, you're still like, hey, I know that dude.
Yeah, and I think I wonder a lot of that because, like, you can tell the people when you're in there.
Yeah.
Like, you can tell the people that are just there and going through the motions. And
Yeah.
like, nah, you'll be back. Right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you see something like Crazy Joe. Remember Joe?
Oh, bro.
Like, that guy's he's probably back.
Oh, 100%, bro. His name was Crazy Joe. Of course he's back.
Yeah.
That dude was nuts.
Yeah, but
He was his head against a cement wall. Like,
Yeah.
what's wrong with you?
he was fucking wild, bro.
Yeah, there were some folks in there where I'm like, bro, you're crazy. But like you said, you're going through emotions. You've been in and out, in and out. It's just like nothing for you.
Yeah, and I think about that sometimes too, where it's like you can tell the people that don't give a fuck, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
And you can tell the lifestyle that they live, and you're like, well, oh, I obviously got to make a change from that. Like I can't go that fucking direction. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you got to kind of switch up a little bit, and you kind of learn from that just by watching people too.
Yeah.
I think that's a big thing. Like I watch people all the time. That's one of my favorite things.
Yeah, people watch. I was just in Vegas a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
People watching in Vegas is great.
Yo,
Everyone's fucking loaded. And I'm like, what's going on in your mind as you're acting like
Exactly.
dude?
Yeah, so you kind of gotta like you just pull little things here and there from people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, it kind of teaches you a lesson because you can be like, oh, you're going down that road. I gotta switch up because I'm doing the same shit you are.
Yeah.
So I gotta move to the left. You know what I mean?
You're right.
So
You remember Dex? Light skinned dude used to hang out with No.
yeah, I used to talk to Dex when he got out for a little bit. I don't know if I can have him.
Yeah, he's still around here, bro. On like a plumbing business now.
That's right.
Yeah, he's doing pretty good. I still follow him on IG. That's one of the only dudes I know besides you that has actually like got their life on the right path.
Yeah.
Since getting released.
Do you remember Swag?
Oh,
You can't tell me you don't remember him, bro.
yeah, big buff dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a bitch.
Yeah, he actually, it must have been like 2017-ish. He was over, me and Dion used to work out in his living room. I had like an extra living room, and we turned it into a weight room. And so I actually picked him up in Chihuahua and drove him to Dion's house, and we worked out together and shit. That's the last time I ever saw him. Never heard from him since.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I follow him on Instagram and shit like that.
Yeah.
These are different two kids. He got a kid, girl, and stuff like that.
That's solid.
Yeah, man, as long as you're not doing the same shit you were before,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You just gotta disconnect from that. That's all it is.
Yeah, that's huge, man. So what's next for you, man? House?
House, yeah. That's
Yeah.
a good one now, yeah. Yeah, trying to find a house, trying to figure out where I want to live. It's like this, I feel like the only reason I'm in Washington is because I was born in Washington. I feel like in my head, I don't want to get up and leave all my friends that are here. Because I've known Dion like 27 years of my life. Like, that's like my brother.
Yeah.
I don't want to leave them behind. That's how I feel. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to move somewhere else. And it's like, well, I'm not going to have no friends down there. And it's like, it's difficult to leave. Like, even going to Florida. I've been to Florida 3 times in my life to live.
Yeah.
And it's like, once you're there and you have no friends, it's like, bro, it sucks. If you're just by yourself, like, what am I doing every day? I'm just walking around like lost. So I like the idea of living here. The state is wild, man.
man.
It's turned into a shit show. Seattle's a shit show. It's just like, bro, I'd rather go to Tacoma any day of the week than Seattle now.
Yeah, it's crazy. Fucked up too, though.
It is, but not as bad as Seattle. You step on human shit in Seattle on the sidewalk. It's like, bro, that's crazy. That's third world country shit.
It is, bro. It's nuts. I think one of the things, like, so I grew up in Washington too, and I used to tell myself, like, oh, I don't want to lose my family and stuff like that, but like your family's always gonna be there. You know what I mean?
Your family goes with you now.
Well, like my family here in the house, but I still got like my brothers are up here.
Yeah.
My sister, my mom, my dad, stuff like that. But as you get older, you just kind of live your own life. But
Right.
I think it's also one of those things where like Washington's just who you've always been.
Yeah.
So you gotta understand again, like you don't always have to be what you've always been.
Yeah.
Like you could be somebody that fucking moves before or whatever. Like it's comfortable.
Yeah.
And that's
You have to get to that point.
That's
where
the
it is
hardest.
comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough.
But yeah, I would like we still think about moving. You know, I think about it a lot more than my wife does.
Yeah.
But
Tennessee is still your go-to spot.
I don't think so, man.
Yeah.
I think we got
You just picked Tennessee?
so my sister-in-law, her sister moved down there.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of good things about the South. Our neighbors across there were from Georgia, and they moved back down there. It's not like Washington.
Yeah.
As far as like
Uppity,
Yeah.
crazy, it's more country style.
Right, and that's kind of what we were going for, man. We're still kind of what we're going for. Is like I've had so much of people's shit. Like I'm so done with everybody's shit. You know what I mean? Having a house is cool. I'm real close to my neighbors. I'm fucking sick of that already.
Yeah.
It's just like it just goes into that peace thing, man.
Right.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
they're disrupting your peace.
Right. So the goal for us is land.
Yeah.
And I would like to have like 10 acres and just be right in the fucking middle of it and not see anybody unless I want to see something. Ideally, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll happen, but that's kind of why we were thinking the South. Cost of living's a lot cheaper down there,
Yes,
so we
it
could
is.
take what we make on this house and move down there and be comfortable.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We've even thrown around the idea of when my son's 12, so in 6 years he's going to be 18. It'd be the point where like apartment, job, whatever. And my daughter will be, she'll be 10, so she'll stick with us.
Right.
But we even thought about leaving the country, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because.
Where to?
I don't know. We've thrown around a lot of shit. Ecuador, like South America, Central America type things where it's like it's warm.
Way cheaper to live.
It's cheaper to live. It's just a different world.
Yeah,
You know what I
it is.
mean? And I've never experienced that before, but it's almost like a craving.
Yeah.
So I would like to
Just
get
want to see
out.
what it's like.
Yeah, I would
Have you ever been outside the country like on vacation?
haven't.
Really?
No.
Yeah.
Because and I think I hold myself back from this,
Yeah.
but since I was a felon, I was always told I can't get a
Yeah,
passport.
yeah, even to Canada, bro. My girl's like, let's go to Canada. I don't even know if I can. I don't know the
No,
rules
I
and
don't think you
regulations. I don't know.
Yeah, bro,
I don't want to get to the border and then be like, you're trying to escape coming in. I'm like, nah, I'm good.
So, but Stacy was like, why don't you just try to get a passport? Let's just start there.
Yeah.
So my next step's going to be a passport, and then we're going to go, eventually, we're going to go experience those countries.
Yeah,
Because
see
I
what it's
think-
like.
Yeah, because I think I can't just, I'm smart enough to know I just can't up and move to fucking South America and be like, this is it.
Yeah.
Right? I can't do that. I'm not an idiot.
You gotta have some stabilization.
Right. I got to understand what I'm getting into.
Yeah.
But I just want to be, I really just want to be somewhere where I can just start over.
Yeah.
Just start fresh, man, and, you know, just fucking be my new self and be happy and fucking minimalize everything. You know what I mean? I think at that point too, I'm just like, I have all the stuff. For what? You know what I mean? Like, it's cool, but
Right.
you know.
Yeah, it kind of goes into like Buddhism, where they're like, you're happy as you can be with as less as you can be.
Right.
It's like you really don't need all the crazy shit. As
Yeah.
long as you're happy, that really should be your only goal in life.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I was listening to this. Have you ever heard of Wes Watson?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I was reading his book. I got a book there. I was listening to him on fucking Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, you know what? I got a lot of money and stuff like that. But you know, a Rolls just becomes a car.
Yeah.
And the money just becomes your
Yeah, it's cool. It's like even getting new shoes now. It's like, oh, hella cool. And like a day go by, and I'm like, they're just shoes.
shoes.
Like, you know what's hella funny, bro? It's because I used to have a bad spending habit with shoes. And sometimes I got to the point where I realized I was only happy buying them and going home with them. So I would buy stuff and then just return it a week later. And like, oh, I don't need those anymore. I had them. Like,
What?
Just to get it out of my head. Because like the urge of having something new is now I have it and now that urge is gone. So I'm like, I don't need this shit. You can have it back. Give my money back. But I'm still getting that urge out by buying it and returning. For some reason, it did something for my mind. And then I got
It's like
to the
that
point where I'm like,
dopamine drip. Bro.
yeah, it's like, I don't really need that shit. Fuck it. Like now I just get shit here and there, but I get paid and go straight to the mall. It's stupid. I got to the point where, bro, when we were, my ex was staying in the house, we had a spare room that was my shoe room. I counted like 90 some pairs of shoes, bro. I had like shelves, like a Foot Locker, it looked like, with lights underneath, like it went crazy. I got to the point where I'm like, bro, I walked in the room, I'm like, none of this shit means anything to me. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? And me just like posting everything on Opera, I'm like, get rid of all this shit. I'm like, you look stupid.
Yeah.
But a normal person with his life together walked in here, he's like, bro, what the fuck? You could have bought half a house with all this shit.
Yeah.
Like, you're stupid.
You're wasting all this space.
Yeah, I was like, I had to get away from that, bro. It was definitely not good for my mental health.
That's like a big step, though.
Yeah, noticing that.
Yeah.
But I noticed it without even trying. I just walked in there one day and was like, bro, like none of these shit means anything to me anymore.
Yeah.
Like, why do I have this? I won't even wear half of these ever again. Like, this is stupid.
It's wild that we do that to ourselves.
It is. It's a distraction.
Yeah.
They're never ending. You have to learn to dip and dodge the distractions because they will get you. They sure will.
Yeah. That's fucking life, though. That's just part of it. But I think you get better at that.
Oh yeah.
You know?
You notice the old folks, they don't let shit phase them.
No.
They just like, you'll tell them something, it's like, I don't give a fuck. It's like, I wish I could be like that.
That's what I want to get to. I
Yeah.
want to be that person that's just like chilling and like
what really matters is the silence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm starting to feel that. Like, I just want to fucking pull the silence out of everything and just fucking sit and be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shit gets too fucking crazy sometimes.
It sure does.
There's a lot to deal with, but right now we're fucking making it through. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I can only look forward.
Yeah.
Makes me happy.
Yeah. You think about getting a house here?
Yeah. I'm unsure. My girl,
You
she's
might want to leave, huh?
possibly. Yeah, like Texas is on my list. Colorado is on my list. Yeah, those are really the two places. I can't live in fucking Florida, bro. That humidity is terrible. Bro, you get like fresh and you go outside immediately you're sticky. And I'm like, well, what I even take a shower for and get nice? Like I look dirty. It's just stupid. But Texas is like more dry heat. Maybe Arizona. I can probably live in Arizona for a short time.
Arizona's dope. I like Arizona.
I just want to experience some different cultures. Like I'm just so stuck in Seattle life, where I'm like, bro, everything fucking sucks.
Yeah.
And I swear, if you go to a different state with different politicians that run the state in a proper way, would feel way better at the end of the day. Like you're not dealing with every time you turn the news on, oh, someone killed and stabbed by a homeless person in Seattle. It's like, bro, that could be me one day or my family. Like, dude, what the fuck is the point? I can just imagine. You seen the movie Law Abiding Citizen with Gerard Butler?
Yeah.
Well, that movie, like, I swear, if something like that happened to my family, I would go to Seattle and just start getting off all the home. I don't even care if they had a part of it. I would just turn to an assassin, bro. It would be crazy. And I don't want to get to that point, but I swear, bro, I would just do it and then go to jail with a smile on my face and be like, I'd do it again if I had the chance. That'd be one of those crazy court hearings you would see.
Yeah, it's fucking wild.
I just don't want to be a part of that. It's just too wild here, and I feel like they're destroying the state on purpose for some reason. Seattle wasn't like this 10, 15 years ago. It was a dope place.
It was.
The Emerald City.
I used to love going to Seattle.
Yeah, I don't want to go to
Seattle.
Seattle.
I spend all fucking day there.
Yeah.
Now I'm in and out as fast as I can.
Yep. There's no point. That's why I'm going to Alki, where it's like you get a little bit of beachy vibes.
Yeah.
I'm not going downtown, bro. I'm not.
Uh-uh.
My girl wants to go down. I'm like, make sure you're with someone, have your phone location on. Like, people are getting swooped up off the street in a van. Like, bro,
that's the weirdest shit to me, bro. It's like some people are like, oh no, that's always been there. I don't fucking think it has.
Yeah.
Like, kidnappers have always been around, right? Like serial killers, shit like that.
But now it's
like
like
the way that it is
mainstream.
right now, it's a normal fucking thing.
Yeah, you see it where like people are leaving a Fred Meyer and there's someone like putting like ribbons on their car door to mark them. Yeah. It's like, bro, what? We're we putting like fentanyl on $1 and putting $1 in your windshield. So when you go to pull the dollar out, you're getting fentanyl in your bloodstream. And it's like, bro, what? I will break someone's neck in half if someone tried that shit.
And see, that's a lot of it, like, here. That's a lot of Washington.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
it is. It's been overrun.
It's not that bad.
No, it's not.
Like, it's still there. Like, homelessness, shit like that is still there. But even if you were to go from, like, I was just having this talk with my kid the other day. I was like, Bellevue.
Yeah.
When's the last time you went to Bellevue?
Just a couple weeks ago.
Well,
I took my girl there for the first time. And she was like, this reminds me of Bankhead in Atlanta because it's like nice, uppity, clean streets.
Yeah.
You drove across the bridge to Seattle and you're like, I don't want to be here.
I heard from somebody, I don't know how they do it, but they said, yeah, homelessness is illegal. They take you and fucking move you out.
Yeah.
I'm like, why?
Yeah, they'll ship them right to Seattle.
Or to home.
Yeah.
It's nuts, bro. And it's like, it's to the point, like, which way did you come in? Did you come in from that way or that way?
This way.
That way?
Yeah.
So if you drive out that way, we got a couple like mobile homes down there. Always shitty.
Yeah.
And just the other day, I was like, so I want to walk almost every morning. And I walk that way, and I walk up to PLE and come back. And I'm like, every morning, I'm just like, I'm sick of looking at shit on the fucking roads.
Yeah.
I'm sick of all the, like, just nasty shit. And in my head, I was like, when I bought this house, we were looking for other houses. I was like, I don't want a house in the HOA.
Yeah.
I don't want that. But that day, I was like, this is why people have houses in HOA neighborhoods. Because they can walk around them, and they don't have to deal with any of it. Everything's nice, put together, and it's your environment. It shades who you are, right?
Exactly.
So, like, that's one thing I got to be really aware of. It's like, that shit affects me. I go out there and I see it, and I'm like, I live in a fucking garbage state.
Yeah.
And it fucks with my
It doesn't feel good, yeah.
So you know what I do a lot of times? I'll take my fucking ass up to Puyallup instead of going to Tacoma.
Yeah.
I live in Tacoma. I love Tacoma.
Mm-hmm.
But Puyallup's a lot nicer.
It is,
So I'll hike up there, go to Fred Meyer or whatever, rather than going to Pacific. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's little things like that where, again, being aware.
Yeah.
And just being like, I can't be around.
Yeah. like on being aware, one thing too that stuck with me since prison is being like I'm always hyper aware. And I was never that way before I went to prison, but once you're in there, people like I had Dion's sister's baby daddy was done some prison time like 4 or 5 years. He's telling me and Dion all these stories before I have to go in. I'm gonna tell him what I gotta do when I get in there. Da, da, da.
Yeah.
He's telling me all this shit. I'm like, fuck, so I get in there and I'm like super aware of everything. And that just stuck with me ever since. Like I'll be driving down the road, I'm paying attention to all the cars from all the areas. Like it bothers me sometimes. I wish I was not like this, but I'm so aware of everything. This is like annoying. It's like draining sometimes. So I'm like,
let me ask you this. When you go into a restaurant, do you have a preferred area that you want to see it?
Yeah,
Where?
in the corner. In the corner, yeah.
Bro, it's to the point now where my wife, my daughter, and my son all know that. They'll give me the corner of whatever.
I want to be able to see in front of me, not what's behind me.
Yeah. My wife used to ask me all the time, she was like, why are you so, she never said aware, I forget what she said. But she was like, why are you so, like head on a swivel, basically. There's certain words she was using. And I was like, it's just kind of what I've always had, right? More so when my son was born, because you're more aware of it.
Yeah.
And then now that she's a parent, she's like, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, now add prison to that.
Yeah,
and tell me how you feel.
Yeah,
right?
multiply that by 5.
Yeah, because I'm the same way. Like, I think a lot of it has to do with my upbringing and stuff like that. But whenever I see like a dude, right, you can read his face
immediately.
And
I'll find someone and I'm like, oh, you're cool, or you're not cool. Immediately, I glance.
And I almost always have my guard up. I'm like, oh, this dude coming towards me, he's gonna want to fight me.
Yeah.
No rational fucking thought.
It's crazy. In their head, they're just like, oh, just a dude, and they're just walking by. But your head, oh, that could be an enemy. Hold on.
Right.
Yeah,
it's wild.
It is. It's draining for sure.
It's very draining.
Yeah.
It's tiring.
It does.
And that was kind of one of the reasons where I was like, I just want to move, man.
Yeah,
like,
be in the 10-acre lot in the middle and not have to worry about any of that.
Because then I'm like, oh, well, nobody here wants to fight me because they don't know who I am.
Right.
So there's no reason for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild, bro. Like when I go into a restaurant, same thing. It's like I'll always want to get sat in the corner.
Yeah.
I just don't like shit going on behind me.
Yeah.
You know, when we have like family functions or whatnot, I usually sit in that chair.
Yeah.
That's because I can see the whole room.
Right.
You know, and that's my family.
Yeah.
Like it's wild.
It's just a habit.
It's funny because I've never asked anybody that before that's been in prison. Like, that question that I just about the restaurant. That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, we just went to go eat somewhere the other day, and when we walked in, lady was like, "You want to go to the bar or the booth?" I'm like, "Okay, me to the booth." The bar, you're stuck at the bar. Everything goes on behind you at the bar. So I'm like, no, we can go to the booth. It's fine.
Yeah.
Give me something where my back is covered, pretty much.
Exactly. Yeah, it makes me nervous, man. The same thing with crowds and shit like that. It's just like,
It's just the news you watch, and it's like you see all this crazy shit now. I think that's also a problem with society as a general now. Is where our parents grew up, you didn't know anything unless someone told you what happened. Exactly. Now something will happen in the middle of an Arabic desert, and then we see it on the news, and it's like, oh, someone got their head cut off. People are crazy. You're getting immediate gratification from
all the negative shit.
Yeah, and it's like, dude, it's not good for people.
No, it's not.
It's
so
not.
Like, I hate talking about COVID, so we won't go like too deep into it.
Yeah.
But I feel like one of the reasons it got so fucking pushed and it's such a big issue is because of the internet.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
they could take over pretty much.
Yes, because one person was like, oh, I got this. And the other person's like, oh, I got that too. And it fucking snowballs into this huge fucking thing. Yeah. And I think the same thing with like kidnappings and sex trafficking and stuff like that. It's always been a problem.
But now we see it
so
hyper aware now.
It's so heightened, right? Yeah. So, like you hear about everything.
But I think it could be good and bad, because the good side of it is now you're taking extra precautions around the home to make sure you're safe, and like you're sharing locations with your wife to make sure she's good. Yeah. And all that plays into the core fact of like it's a scary world.
It is, bro. Yeah, it was just the other night. My wife was like, she wanted to go to the store for something. She was like, can you go? I really don't want to go. Can you go? She was like, I'm a woman. I'm not going outside. It's my time.
Yeah.
Like, You got a point.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, it sucks, but at the same time, there's got to be a limit to what you're getting in, right? So you got to have enough information to be like, okay, well, this is how I'm going to lead my life so I'm safe and whatnot.
Right.
But I got to fucking close the doors too, because if I watch the news every day, it's going to fuck my life up.
Yeah, a lot of like the self-help books will tell you disconnect from the news just for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
See how much of a difference it makes in your life.
I used to get up every morning, put on the news, and drink coffee for like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
We don't have general cable anymore. We use Netflix or whatever.
Yeah.
But I stopped watching the news, bro. It changed my life.
Yeah, see?
Because it's just feeding me full of negative shit.
It is.
all the time.
You get like 9 negative stories and then 1 10-second, oh, this person graduated, and then back to negative. And it's like, oh,
That's how
not
I'm
good for
day.
anyone's mental.
No. So now, like, you, at least with like social media and stuff like that, for the most part, you get to pick and choose what you follow. And what you
Yeah.
do. Like, they'll throw some shit in there too, whatnot.
Yeah.
Like, fucking still to this day, bro. Like, I'll hop on Instagram and it'll just show me like people fist fighting in the
Yeah.
streets. I'm like, are you trying to fucking suck me in or something, right?
Yeah.
Because I used to watch. It was the weirdest shit. A long time ago, I told my brother. He was like, "What do you do before you go to the gym?" I was like, "I drink a bunch of pre-workout and watch fighting videos."
Like, getting hyped up.
Yeah, I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "You're a fucking psycho, dude." I was like, "That's what does it." But now it's like I feel a certain way. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
Shit. Like I gotta get past it, but they'll throw it in there every now and then.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just gotta be. You have to be hyper aware.
You do.
You know, it's exhausting.
Yeah, it is exhausting. It's draining, but it has to be done.
Yeah. Well, shit, man. We'll wrap it up. It's been like an hour and a half, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, hour and a half. I appreciate you coming by, man.
Absolutely,
I
bro.
think this is a good one too.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
think it kind of sheds a lot of light on the fact, like one, you can come up from anything, you can do whatever you want to do. You just gotta fucking think about it, right?
Yeah.
2, no matter what you've been into, you can always change shit around. You know.
Yeah.
And the one thing I keep pushing, I always say, man, you don't always have to be what you've always been.
Yeah.
You can be whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
Right.
It's hard to get to that point, but
It
it's
is.
definitely doable.
Yeah, and I think that's like with the whole purpose of me doing it. Like small time, I barely got anybody watching shit and
Right.
whatever. But I feel like the more people that hear it and the more experience that they can learn from, like other
Yeah.
people's experiences, like
Yeah.
ours or whatnot.
Yeah, it's like reading a book of a millionaire. It's like he's
Yeah.
telling you how he got there.
Yeah, and you're just
Accept
taking little bits and pieces of it and applying it to your life.
Right.
And before you know it, you're like, oh, I've made this whole shift.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, your life is different. And that's all I really want, man, because it's been a wild fucking journey. You know what I mean? The last 5 or 6 years in itself. It's just with everything changing, the world changing, shit like that. I just think, like, I know so many people with deep depressions
Yeah.
and that don't need to be because it's just outside shit.
Yeah, the distractions, man.
That's what it
It's
is.
crazy. How long has your son been homeschooled? Did he ever see public school?
Yeah, he'll be going into his 3rd year of homeschooling.
So he had like 3-ish years.
Yeah, so he was, I think his 4th grade year we pulled him out. It was like COVID, and when we pulled him out. Oh, because they started doing that remote learning.
Oh, yeah,
He
yeah.
did that, and then we decided just to go to full homeschool.
He picked that up pretty quick. It was easy
He's
transition.
doing fucking amazing, dude.
Yeah.
He's a fucking test score. So when you do homeschool, you still gotta do like a state test every year.
Right.
He's in like the 10th, 11th, 12th grade fucking spectrum.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yes, because the elementary or the public schools aren't doing what they're supposed to.
No.
It's a fuck show.
Yeah.
So it's like
It is.
people are sending their kids there as a daycare, and then they come back home as a daycare, and it's like your kid's not getting real grounded into what life is. So homeschooling is great.
Teachers that only give a shit 50% of the time.
Yeah.
And then when you're home,
And then they're underpaid. They don't want to do extra work.
Yeah.
Like when it's your kid, I want to invest the time into making you a smart human.
exactly.
Teachers don't give a fuck at the end of the day.
You know what's wild too? Is I dated an elementary school teacher.
Did you?
Bro, she smoked more weed
She
than anybody
has to,
I've
bro.
ever known.
Her
And,
mind
like,
is fried.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, like I smoke weed too. Like that's cool, but the type of person that she was, I was like, how the fuck are you an elementary school teacher? Like
Right.
that doesn't make sense. But
Yeah,
that
you
kind of
wanna
opens your
think.
eyes to like
these are just regular people going to a regular job.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's
If
not
they
like
wanna
something
go either.
special. Yeah,
it's
they want
really
to call
fucking
out
weird
just
to
as
think
bad
about,
as you
man.
do.
So, but no, so he's been, I think we pulled him into homeschool early enough to where, I hate to say it, but we can shape him into, you know, what we believe is correct
Yes,
rather than
yeah.
what the state believes is correct.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And when is the state right? Rarely. So
Rarely. Yeah. So it's good for him. It's tough though, man, because the one thing about school is you got all your friends, right? Like it could be good and bad, especially the area that you're in, right?
Yeah,
But it's hard because you don't get a whole lot of friends. So you
the social aspect.
right.
Yeah.
As a parent, you have to be proactive and make sure you link up with people. Like I said, we got friends that do homeschool and whatnot.
Yeah.
But it took a while to get there.
Right.
I mean, and it's just something you know.
I think it's becoming more and more common now, though, as well.
It is, bro.
With the way that, like, critical race theory and, like, all these things they're teaching the kids and stuff, bro, they're in 3rd grade. What are we doing?
Yeah.
You're teaching them about, like, butt stuff in 3rd grade, bro? That's crazy.
Yeah. I can't.
I'll punch a teacher in the nose. Don't do that.
Yeah, there's no way. Yeah, it's, yeah, I can't, man. Because people ask me all the time, why do you homeschool? Why?
Look around you.
Like, you see what they're teaching in school? Bro,
Yeah.
It's fucking nuts.
It is.
Like, they're in a different fucking world now. But.
Yo, that's insane.
So, yeah, man. That's another thing about, like, mental health, bro. Like, that's
Yeah,
everything that's going on right now is fucking with everybody,
it is.
you know? And
Sadly, it is.
yeah, I think the more you can push like positivity, bro, and the more you can just help. And it sounds corny, like just help one person, like that's all that
Right.
matters. But if you could literally just help one person,
Yeah,
we could all just help one person. That's 50% of the people helping 50% of the people.
Right.
100%, right? Does it make sense?
yeah.
So I just think we need more of that, man. And the little bit, like I wish I would have had more of that. You know,
Right.
I look at outside sources like self-help books, all these fucking millionaires,
Yeah.
self-employed entrepreneurs, shit like that.
Yeah.
That's what helps me. So if I can be a real person, like not that they're not real, but they're living a different lifestyle, like
Yeah.
almost like a fantasy lifestyle, not a lot of small
Exactly.
percentage get to.
Right, right.
But if I could be like a real person, like the majority that's actually pushing for that and preaching it and trying to live it and trying to spread it as much as I can,
Yeah.
I think more people will grasp onto it.
For sure. I think it's healthy for people to grasp onto.
Yeah, and I think just hearing it from somebody at my level that's not like way the fuck up here,
Right.
I think it just resonates more with people.
It does, yeah, because it's like, oh, living a normal life. I live a normal life.
Yeah,
I can do that.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because you see, you're reading these millionaires, and I'm like, yeah, it's easy for you. Your life's taken care of. There's no stress. You can buy what you need to help you get to that point. Like,
Yeah.
there's no obstacles in your way.
it's crazy. Yeah, like
You better be happy.
Yeah, exactly. There's no reason for you not to be happy.
Right.
So, yeah. So anyway, like I think having you on here too just gives another perspective of like,
Yeah,
it's not
for
just
sure.
me and my life changed.
Right.
No, other people are doing it too. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And you're still doing it.
It's doable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're still doing it. And then I got another guy that I think I got coming next week that's kind of in the same position and just fucking life beating that motherfucker down sometimes. But he's still there. Like,
Right.
he's still moving forward. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think about that a lot. It's like people are in a way worse position than me, still going through the same motions I'm trying to go through. So if they can get through it,
Yeah.
like, it's weird because I did that in prison too. You got people that I forget his name, but it was the old dude that did hell of time, like 20 some years. Like talking to them and how much years they have left made me feel better about my time.
does.
So I'm like, oh, you got 20 years, but I got 15 months. I better put a smile on my fucking face
Yeah.
and just do this time.
That was one thing that hit me real hard when I was at WSR. There was this dude named Adrian. I'll never forget him.
Yeah.
He was doing life. He had like 20 counts of aggravated manslaughter or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah.
Wow. But he was like changed man, right?
Right.
And he told me the same thing. He was like, you have 18 months. You better keep your shit clean and get the fuck back out there.
Right.
And there's a rock. So like, there's politics. Like in the camp, there wasn't a whole lot of politics.
Yeah.
And behind the wall, there was more politics. It's
Mhm.
not like California prison, nothing like that. There's politics. There's a rock. You have all your races. You have the basketball court, the handball court, stuff like that. There's a rock all the way through the cell.
Mm-hmm.
I remember one time this dude called me up. He was like, "Come up here." I was like, he was like, "Come up here." I was like, "What do you need?" He was like, "Just get up here." And I put one foot on it and stepped up. He was like, "How much time you got?" And I was like, "I got 18 months, man." And he was like, "All right, you go."
Yeah.
And at that moment, I was like, "Bro, if I would have said something like, if I would have had 2 years, if I had 3 years or whatever, that would have been the first and last time I would have stepped off that rock.
Yeah.
And I would have been stuck there. So it's like, yeah, you really need to understand that life's not that bad.
Yeah.
And you still have a chance to get out. Unless you
go
royally fuck up.
Exactly.
But at that point, you probably deserve it, right?
Yeah.
If you're making mistakes and you're going down that path, you just have to understand, like, you can still turn it around.
Yeah.
Especially if you're young.
Everyone goes through hard times, man. It's just getting through it and getting to the good times.
For sure.
It's a journey.
Yeah.
Life is about the journey.
That's it, man.
That's it.
Shit. Well, I appreciate you, man. We'll wrap this up here.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, everybody, for listening. That is the end of episode 5 of the I Am Unchained podcast. I want to give a big thanks to AJ for coming through. I think we got a lot of information out there. It was a really good talk. It was nice catching up. And I want to point this out that if you have insight or thoughts or anything along the lines of what the podcast is about that you want to share with the world, feel free to reach out. unchainedlives@gmail.com. That goes directly to me. You can message me on Instagram, Facebook, call me, text me, write me a letter, doesn't matter. If you think you have something beneficial that will help other people, if you've overcome a dark point in your life, you've taken control of your depression, if it's about health and fitness and bettering your life or anything like that, and you feel like you have something to give other people, let me know, man. I would love to have you on the podcast. Men and women, no kids. But let me know. Other than that, I appreciate you guys watching as always. Stay tuned for episode 6, and we'll see you on the next one.